Yeah, you said you're a PlayStation gal.
I love my PlayStation. Absolutely.
Yeah, I love mine too. Like I don't think again Nintendo would be secondary, and that's essentially we had a conversation earlier about nostalgic purposes, right? And I have my N64, I have my SNES and my NES.
Yeah.
I have a Game Boy lying around somewhere. Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I still like Nintendo for the nostalgic
right
reasons, right? But PlayStation, it's
PlayStation's
PlayStation.
Yeah, well, for me, that's the thing. I don't think it's necessarily one platform is better than the other. It's just what you personally gravitate towards too. And for me, it's PlayStation just typically has way more games that I like to play. They have way more RPGs. They have way more JRPGs. And so if that's the genre that I love to play, and like I said to you before, having the controllers be smaller, and it's I got small hands. I don't want this big bulky thing, and it's kind of heavy. The Xbox, but if you have larger hands, then I'm sure it's fine for you. And that's great. Yeah. But
have you ever cosplayed a video game character?
I have. I cosplayed Yennefer from The Witcher 3. That was the first video game character I cosplayed, I believe. Yeah, she's super badass. I was okay, first of all, it's okay, who has dark hair? That's just easier for me to play someone with dark hair. And her character's pretty complex, and there are moments where she's really intelligent, but she's also ethically questionable, and it's what do we bring back people from the dead and destroy an entire forest to get the information that we need, but it's for someone that we have to find Siri. And so it's these kind of themes I like to explore, and so that's why I chose her to cosplay. So that was pretty fun.
If you were to you had to pick obviously you pick that character, obviously you said because she's a badass, brown hair, but is there a character that you want to be that might not have brown hair, that might look a little different, but you're shit, that would be she's badass and I would love to just
one that I have done, or the one that I
No, one that you haven't done but you would love to.
Okay, so there's only one person that I want to do, and I'm probably going to do that this year. So, because she's the last on my bucket list of absolutely I have to cosplay this, because she is my favorite character of all time. And she's badass. I love her. But she has brown hair. Whatever.
Okay,
so that would be Jadzia Dax from DS9. Star Trek DS9. She's a Trill, so she's got the spots, and it's not shit. You want a video game character, because I was not a video game. But anyway, she's kind of the character that I want to cosplay, and I don't want to cosplay the typical Jadzia Dax in the science officer uniform. I want to cosplay the Klingon heart Jadzia.
Oh, really? Eh?
I bought a foam bat lab. I want to take her. There's an episode where she's created this holodeck training program, this Klingon fighting training program. And Worf comes in and they start fighting, and it's fantastic. And I just love how fierce she is in that scene. And I'm it's I want to screenshot sometimes certain characters and go, that's the part of the character that I want to cosplay. So I think that's going to be really fun for me to do. But, yeah.
And you want that done this year?
Yeah.
So it's more realistic, August Fan Expo kind of thing.
Maybe,
so we have Comic-Con coming up soon, right? So
I'm not sure. I still haven't scheduled yet what I'm doing, but for sure that was like she's going to happen this year. I just don't know
So no way.
when for sure. Yeah. But the one cosplay I did, which was last Halloween, I did Hella, and I took her character. It was interesting because during last year, I went through a lot of really death-themed things in my life. I had taken a bereavement education course at University of Toronto, and I work with the Toronto Homeless Memorial as a volunteer, where I set up like a website for people who have died, who are marginalized in our society, that just don't get remembered. And I was like, that's important to me.
Right.
And then my cat died, who like I was super close with. That happened in October. There was like all of these, like it was just a crazy, weird kind of death-themed year. And it was in like June that I decided to do Hella. So way before the movie came out in like November. And I was working on her cosplay for months and months and months, but there was all this other stuff surrounding death, which it was, you know, just very synchronistic.
Okay, just in case someone's lived underneath a rock, explain who Hela is.
So Hela's the goddess of death that was recently introduced into popular culture through the new Thor movie, Ragnarok. And full disclosure, I still haven't seen the movie yet. I'm going to.
Are you kidding?
It's the first time I've ever cosplayed a character that I haven't, like, I've read about her.
Right.
But I haven't seen the movie,
right?
So I was like, oh my god. I was like, I hope I don't fuck it up. But I was like, I made it, again, that particular cosplay for Hela, I changed up a bit. I was like, this one, I don't really want to sexify because the personification of death for me was, this is hard, this is dark, this is heavy, this is not sleek and black. And so, but I kept her colors, so I made a dress, and I kind of grunged her up a bit to make it like a little darker, and I did make from scratch the headpiece, which was brutal to wear. Oh my god! Oh my gosh!
Really heavy, eh?
Yeah. So I went to Snailoween, and it wasn't too heavy because I made it from tin foil, and then I wrapped painter's tape around it, and then I put some like primer, and then just spray painted it black.
Right.
So it was like pretty shoddily made, but I had fun with it. I cried a few times, but I also had fun with it. And I think it turned out really well. I couldn't wear it for like a long period of time, but I think it turned out like how I felt, how I wanted it to be, and then how it kind of actualized from my conceptual ideas to how I wanted it to look. So it was it was really fun. It was like, that's the kind of stuff I like to do, you know, taking ideas from certain characters, whether it's video games or movies or anime. Like, I just, those are kind of things. I think for like anime, I didn't really think about that until I'm thinking of your question now. Anime, I would love to do, there was an anime, I don't know if it's still on Netflix, called Moribito. It was amazing. It's about like this female like warrior, and I don't know if it's in the Edo period of Japan, but it's kind of that style. And I took Iaido, which is like a martial art using like Japanese sword. Right. And so I was like, oh, I connect with this girl. I was like, I'd love to cosplay her. Yeah, so there's like a few ideas of what I might want to cosplay. I also have Elektra from Daredevil.
Which version of Elektra?
Well, here you go. So again, it's about, I still haven't seen anyone do this, and I've got the outfit for it. I just, like, that might be a Comic-Con this year. But again, it's like how I perceive certain people, and what aspect of their character do I want to snapshot. And when I was watching Daredevil, there was a scene where she's in this like airline hangar or something. She's at a bar, and I can't remember the guy's name, comes in, and she's in like this white sweater, these black pants, and she's got her side, and she ends up killing this guy. Like, she's got blood splattered all over her. And I'm like, that's, to me, it's like, it was like this crazy mind game that she was having with this guy about like, is he a threat? Is he not? And and how she kind of saw through and saw what she had to do in order to protect herself. And it was so it's like that is my Elektra. That particular look, that moment, that part of that character is what really fascinates me. And so I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that.
Yes, you got quite a bit, eh?
I have a lot of ideas.
Yeah, just
because the brain never stops turning.
No, I'm the same way. I've cosplayed Black Mask, Batman villain, Red Skull from Captain America, because even though I did like a mashup, I did like Captain America / Red Skull.
Oh, well, cool.
Right, and they're just two really cold, heartless villains that are just badass. Like, they're badass villains, right?
Right.
And when I think of for me, like me personally as like characters, it's like I'm torn because like I'm a huge Cyclops fan, X-Men.
Okay, yeah.
And he's the Boy Scout. I never really became a Captain America fan until Ed Brubaker started writing Captain America, and he did the whole Death of, and like that whole thing just got me like hooked.
Yeah.
But on the flip side, it's I like those badass villains like Red Skull and Doctor Doom and Doc Ock, and it's I'm torn between ultimately in terms of time, like what's easiest, but at the same time it's like I would really love to make those Doc Ock
crazy, yeah.
I mean? Like, it's
get some those dryer things.
Some of those like swimming. What do they call those? Those swimming tubes.
Oh yeah.
Right, have the swimming tubes, and
foam
just
things.
Foam and just do it all. Yeah. It's like. That's like it's this time, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It takes a lot. Like the helicopter, it took me 6 months just to because I couldn't, doing so much stuff. I can't time management to try and take time to do all these things, and it's so detailed. It was like I can't it's gonna take.
It's hard, it's. I get why it takes a cosplayer who. I get why it takes somebody to, build a costume from scratch that's so elaborate, 1, 2, and even 3 years, because, we're busy. We're just busy. It's.
Yeah, and that's why you got to pick and choose, I think.
Yeah.
Where's my heart? And that's what I think. That's what's I find or you know what? Yeah, I'll do the hella costume, and then it's okay, the next year I'm buying this shit online. I'm doing as simple pause because I already spent too much time last year and I'm tired now.
Yeah.
So
it's like our conversations from earlier, and people, people bashing other people for buying costumes, and it's
so lame.
Yeah, it's like cosplay is costume play. If I buy a costume from Ruby's, you know what? So what? I don't have the fucking time. I don't have the time.
It's also expensive to get materials.
Yeah. Shit. If I have to go to Fabricland, or I have to go to Michael's and buy stuff because I forgot something, that's more time that I have to put together, my Doctor Doom. When, what? Ruby's, all I gotta do is buy the costume from Ruby's, maybe redo the mask a bit, done. And then that's it, right?
I'm good to go.
Yeah, I'm good to go, right?
Yeah.
But that's how it is because of time management, right?
Well, yeah, and we can, and the thing is, too, I think we can appreciate the time and effort that some of these costumes, I'm just wow, this is amazing, but at the same time, it's to balance that out with, anyone who thinks, these pretentious thoughts that I'm somehow a better cosplay than this person because of A, B, C, and D. It's like, no, just like, it's like allowing people to express themselves how they can, and if they can't afford it, they don't have time, there should be no shaming in that. Like,
yeah, no, I totally agree, because it's you know, I think I think some people are like have this thought in their head when they go to a convention. May it be an anime, comic book, fan expo, whatever.
right.
And you know, there are these people who, you know, look at a cosplayer and they're like, well, she did it wrong.
Yeah.
Well, no. Like,
She
did it that
differently.
way. She did
or
it
her
differently.
own way.
She did it differently
Yeah.
because there's so many factors. Like,
Yeah.
like was there time that she didn't have?
Yeah.
Like,
Or does she not have the skill to do it?
Like,
or the
is she
money?
a beginner? Is it money? Like,
Yeah, like,
what
just
is
don't
it? Right?
judge
Like,
people.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah. Ugh.